Hey guys, welcome to the Valleycast.
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your show.
Oh no.
Do we have any sponsors today?
Yeah, I got it pulled up.
I think we have
halfway
7,
through.
right?
7. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'll read
Yeah.
5.
No, it's the brand7.com/Valleycast.
Yeah.
It's very-
7 brands.
I'm so tired.
What? Hey guys, welcome.
Elliot?
Guys, shut up. Hey guys, welcome to the show. You're right, Elliot. Guys. Yeah, well, yeah. Elliot, what's wrong, buddy?
What's the matter, man?
Elliot's finally lost it.
Oh no.
When was the last time you cried like that?
Man, I don't know. I wish I could. Sometimes I feel like I need to, but it won't come out. How
Yeah,
about
that
you
happens a
guys?
lot.
Yeah?
The last time I did was Thursday because I smoked too much weed and had a panic attack.
You
Oh,
cried
no.
like that?
Pretty hard, yeah.
Wow, Thursday.
Yeah.
Man,
Dude, I
ugly
can't
crying is a different breed. Different breed of crying.
I can't remember the last time I cried like that, to be quite honest with you guys. I certainly have.
It sucks.
It sucks. So sometimes you need it, man.
Oh, it
Sometimes
feels
you-
good after.
Sometimes
But
it feels so
sucks.
good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels real bad. One time I cried for like hours and hours like that.
Damn.
Do you want to talk
Was that when
about it, or-
was that when the queen died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone here is really affected by it.
Have you guys
Everyone
seen
here
that?
at the Valleycast is pretty
Have you guys seen when Prince Philip died? That radio broadcast.
No.
They- Oh what? Oh,
Should I
gotta
pull it up?
Send this to you. Yeah.
What do
There
I
was
te-
a radio broadcast that like announced his death, but you got to hear like the way they did it.
I
have it right
can't
here.
wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
What a great way to wake up. I can't wait to hear about. I can't
Alright,
wait
I
to hear how
texted
they
it.
did this.
Welcome to the Valleycast, everybody. It's an early morning for some of us. Well, most of us. To all of us. From all of us to you, it's an early morning.
5 a.m.
No, don't text it. Send it to my. Send it. Put it in here in this chat.
Mother hell, all
Mother hen.
Mother
the
my hen.
The mother hen.
The mother hen is here.
What if that was the curse? What if that was
Mother
the curse?
hen.
So it was like, dude, I can't believe it's 95 degrees outside. Mother hen.
hen. Wait, Elliot's got a migraine. Dude.
Elliot, what's wrong? Oh no, I closed.
Elliot, where's Grace? How's Grace doing?
What's going on, buddy? What happened?
Uh-oh.
Gone.
She's gone.
Gone.
She's gone.
Okay.
Yeah, just for the day, or
Yeah, about an hour or two. She'll be back by
Okay.
lunch.
so you just been alone for a couple of hours?
Yeah.
Who leaves a boy like that alone for 2 hours?
Nah, you just shouldn't do it. You can have this thing up.
I want something. I got something to say to Grace soon, because of it. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Here we go. Hang on now. Let me make
Yeah,
sure.
so this was a radio broadcast.
All right.
happening.
You guys ready? Here we go. Here it goes.
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Wait! That's the wrong fucking one.
Wait, that's wrong. This is
Somebody
real though.
recreated it. No. What the
Oh,
fuck?
really? That's not it.
You said Prince something, right?
Yeah, it was Duke
it's-
of Edinburgh.
It says this
Edinburgh.
this is totally not edited. BBC
hell.
Radio Dance.
Now the bit.
Wait, so this one's not real?
No, but it's pretty much that.
Yes, anyway, my dad owns like 7 businesses and all that money is going to go to me. It's
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II.
Oh, shit. Anyway, so I'm going to get all this money eventually when my dad dies.
God damn it. Please listen to the good one.
All right, where's the good one? For those of you, this is the real one?
Who just woke up. It better be.
Guys, did you just wake up with us? Let us know in the comments down below. Let's listen to some fucking EDM, dude. No, I own like 7 properties. Well, my dad owns 7 properties, but eventually those properties will be
Buckingham
mine.
Palace has announced the death of His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh.
No way, dude.
That's real. That's real. like,
Can you play it again?
Yeah, let's do it again.
Edinburgh.
Man, these drinks are strong.
Buckingham Palace has announced the death of His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh.
Love that.
You guys are doing okay with the Queen, though?
Yeah, I'm okay. I did cry like that, Elliot, for a few days when I found out.
Yeah, I figured. I almost texted you, but I figured you wanted alone time.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate that, and I did. And I figured we'd talk about it when we did the Valleycast.
Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, tell us. Tell us.
About the Queen?
What do you think, Kevin?
Yeah, man. What do you think? How did it go?
We're
And
just, this is
were
a
you
healing session.
Yeah. This is for anything.
Well, I was playing Wii Sports, Nintendo Sports, Switch Sports. And Ellie looked at me and she said, the Queen died. And I laughed. And I laughed because I didn't even believe her. Shell-shocked. And that's all.
I saw the Onion article that said, report Queen Elizabeth, cause of death is that she shot herself in a bunker as the enemy forces were closing in on her.
God.
I don't mean to be irreverent.
Dude, they've been memifying so much. She's like become a meme now.
What's weird to me is, and
She
maybe you
lives
guys can, maybe someone smarter than me can explain this, but there seems to be like a divide between people that are like, you absolutely cannot joke about this.
Yeah.
And then there's everyone else.
And then those people are like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Nothing matters. Those people had more money than I can conceivably understand.
And she just died of old age like any other person.
Just
in the
someone
world has
died.
ever-
Can't we laugh? Who gives a shit, man? I'm gonna die someday, and I hope a bunch of people laugh their fucking asses off. I hope particularly certain people love it. I'm dead. I don't give a shit. Who gives a shit?
I am
It's
really
not
want to know.
respectful. Who gives a fuck? This kingdom, queen, king shit is like, who gives a shit?
Damn it.
It's the title. The whole
Hey
title.
guys,
This whole king and queen. Who gives a shit?
this whole king and queen. Who gives a shit, man?
I would I would crash my car if that was on the radio. When I was driving.
Yeah, right?
I would die. I would go into a ditch.
I would die if you were listening to that in your car. Just completely straight faced driving down the street with this fucking absolute drug music.
Anyway.
Do you think some people listen to that kind of music to wind down?
Yeah. Probably with a good old joint.
Let's
For
pretend.
sure.
Okay, let's pretend for a second that we just got home from like 10 hours of working. And what the fuck is that, Elliot? Why do you
I don't know why he has that.
I need to know.
It's not hot
Hang
anymore.
on, I need something's wrong. Something's
What it
wrong,
is
and we're kind of
is-
not addressing it.
I'm not sure what's wrong exactly.
But
I
something's
slept pretty
wrong.
well. Yeah, but I will sleep just like a little. I have a little sleep mask I like to wear. It's
Ooh, I
very,
like that.
It wraps around my whole head and it becomes a little addictive. But sometimes
Ooh,
I wake up and one of my eyes is real swollen, so I kind of feel like I'm looking
Whoa.
out. So I'm trying to take the swelling down with a little bag of ice, folks, for our
Well,
audio.
it's not no.
Elliot has a swollen eye.
How often do you have to do that, Elliot?
I'm dying.
The internet said 20 minutes. I'm going on about 2 minutes so far. That's about all
Oh,
I
but
can
how
handle.
is this the first time you've tried this?
Yeah, in my life, I've never done this
Wow.
before.
Can we talk about the sleep mask? Is it to kind of like black everything out and make everything nice and dark?
Yeah, I will talk to you for hours about my sleep mask, Steve. It's called, I believe, Luna is the
Oh,
name.
this is the one that
Lululemon?
you've talked about this before. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, he has.
So now we're
It's-
like, how long have you been using this?
About a year and a half, 2 years.
Damn.
And so you
it's-
kind of you swear by it now.
Absolutely, it's the best sleep mask in the whole world. And it wraps up your little head and it makes you feel like you're just a little tiny person is holding onto your
Wow.
skull.
Is it one of those things where
Wait.
like? Oh, go ahead.
Is it a weighted one? You know they have
No.
weighted sleep masks that like put weights on your eyes.
They do,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that scares me a little bit. I'll
Yeah.
wake up for sure with this. It
Why?
just
That's
is
too much.
It's too much, I think, for me. Maybe other people like it. I don't know, but see, this is what it looks like. Good God, Elliot.
Well, that's just a couple. And yeah, I saw it. That's cool.
Here's what it looks like. So is it one of those things where if you forgot it?
There it is.
Ooh, that's nice. And so you can
Leather. Is it leather?
Wait, so you
Yeah,
can
yeah, it's latex. It's a
and so
nice
it
black
it
latex.
gets a little cold and you can put it in the freeze?
Ooh, that's a great idea.
Oh,
Oh, you
Never
haven't
done
tried
that.
that yet.
No,
because I
what a
feel
great-
like you could, and you can go to sleep with a nice cooling mask, especially while it's been cold.
Hot. Yeah.
Hot.
Cold.
No, it's been cold, and it.
In it.
Do you guys use sleep masks?
I tried.
Yeah, I also tried. I couldn't.
I always woke up with it off.
Yeah, it got uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'd take it off. I got, but you know, I've got blackout curtains.
He's got the blackout. I don't have a problem with light
That's
when
big,
I sleep.
yeah. Really?
Dude. Listen,
I love lights.
I don't mind it, but I gave it a shot and it changed my life.
Wait. Oh, blackout or
Yeah, it's I've been doing it. I've been talking about this for a while.
Yeah, you have.
I've been doing it, and I'm in, dude. I'm in. I love it. I love it. And when people come over, when I have sleepovers,
What do you mean?
when women,
What are you talking about?
Wasn't Will Haynes just over?
Will Haynes has
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah, Will Haynes came over, but what wasn't that kind of sleepover?
Oh.
He's
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've gotten some compliment. I've been getting some good compliments on the blackout curtains, and it's like, you wake up at 11 a.m. and you're like, what time is it?
Where am I?
And you're like, and then I go and sometimes, and what they'll do is they'll lean over and they'll go, Steve, hey Steve, what time is it? And I'll be like, shut the fuck up. It doesn't matter.
Should we mention Jovid-19?
Yeah. I think we mentioned it last week because he started getting
We made
last
it.
week.
We
Oh, yeah,
made
thanks,
some
guys. Thanks.
We
for-
made some jokes about it. Yeah, you're welcome,
Yeah.
man. It was fun. Kevin and I had a lot of fun. We've been
That was a
doing
stream.
the Valleycast. We've been doing as a stream at some points, and I've found it to be quite entertaining because we can we can talk to you guys and stuff like that. Making it, but you guys can tell us what you think about it. I guess I don't know, but so last week we were doing that stream, and then we were like, Joe's dying, or Joe died, or Joe's dying, or
Something like that.
but
now?
Seemed to hit him pretty hard.
yeah, man,
Really hard, dude.
like harder than anyone I know.
I
Yeah.
feel like that's so. There's something so funny about it.
I know.
Joe's been so careful.
I know.
And I've been not as careful, and I have not gotten COVID one time.
No. I've got a
And
death
one
wish.
time Joe gets it, and it just wipes him out.
Wipes him.
So you still haven't gotten it?
No.
Wow.
Damn.
Not that I know of. It's
That's crazy. I mean, some people I feel like are a bit more resistant to it, and obviously the vaccines help a lot. And
Did Hayden get it too, or was she just quarantining?
I think
to make
Hayden
sure
got it too.
She
I
did.
think Hayden did, yeah.
Damn.
It's a family affair. I know, isn't that awful? And these kids are already growing up with this weird topsy-turvy, don't go outside, wear a mask, don't go in there
Queen dying.
world. Queen dying. How are the children of our country affected by the Queen dying? How is it?
We
Elliot,
won't know for years how this is going to shake out.
yeah, it's one of those things where you just have to wait.
Yeah, this is the lightning struck, but we haven't even heard the thunder yet. You know what I mean? This is going to rock their worlds.
Dude, I was watching this. Do you guys have Disney Plus?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me smell this. Yeah, this works. I'll take a glass.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just one glass. Huh? I said one glass. Do you guys have Disney Plus? There's a National Geographic area of Disney Plus.
Okay.
Where you can watch like a bunch of National Geographic stuff, and there's this one new show coming in. There's this new show that analyzes future stuff, like what's humanity gonna be like in 1,000,000 years, stuff like that. Because with the sun's gonna kill us in like 5 billion years or something like that, right?
Yeah. I think it's 5 billion on the dot.
If humanity
Today.
survives to 5 billion years, who
Yeah.
knows with climate change and shit like that. But if you get even close to when the sun is supposed to be killing us, I think that's bad.
Why?
Like if you're alive 4 billion years from now on this planet, if you're like a human that exists 4 billion years from the year 2022, and you're like, oh shit, we're like literally 1 billion years away from the sun killing us. There's the Earth.
Do you think we'll still be on Earth?
I think the Earth climate will be unlivable at that point. What do you guys think?
I think so too.
Like, I don't think we'll get close to the sun destroying the planet. Like, humanity won't be able to live here like a billion
guarantee it.
years, right?
I know for scientific fact that that's true.
Yeah, it's no question.
No question.
So I was watching this thing about like what are we gonna do? Like what we blah, blah, blah. what are we gonna do as humans? Like, what are we gonna do? And the idea of like it was really dramatic too, and it was like,
Of course.
it didn't need to be though, and it was like, it was. I don't know. I didn't really understand. You guys got to see this shit. I'll find the name of the show, but it was like Lawrence Fishburne was the narrator.
Okay.
Is the narrator, and it's like the year is 2067, and it's like your daughter's just been in a horrible car accident. It like opens like that. It's like, okay, I'm on board, Lawrence Fishburne. Where are you taking me? And then it shows like this accident scene, and the parents are like, "Oh my god!" And their daughter's like in a stretcher, and they like bring her over, and this robot like like drone flies over to them, and it goes, "Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, your daughter will die in 5 minutes. Would you like to upload her consciousness to this thing so that she can continue to live on, or are you ready for her to like pass on or something?"
Wow.
And so the parents are like right there at the accident scene trying to decide if they should we upload our daughter's consciousness to the cloud, and so they decide to, and then like a couple of days later, like their daughter shows up at their door, and she's like a robot that's like indistinguishable from.
What is this show? Is this a documentary?
It's like a documentary. It's like one of those shows where it's like.
I mean, this is like 30 years from now that we're talking.
It's crazy because it's like. It presents itself as a docu series with professionals coming in and like giving us their 2 cents, like
Okay.
Harvard scientists and shit like that, like commenting on what we're seeing. But there's like strangely like a narrative
I see.
in it
Okay.
too. And so how sometimes you see like reenactments or whatever.
Yeah.
You're seeing like a show. You're like watching a show
Yeah, that's
of
what
these
it
people's
sounds
lives. And it's kind of like a Black Mirror episode intertwined with like professionals talking about the stuff. But anyway, it went on and on and on about how like our future eventually is leading us to like technology. Like people were talking about from the Wright brothers creating flight or like designing of the first plane or whatever to like jets like taking off into the sky was like such a short period of time.
I think even, like the moon landing was like less than 50 years or something.
Exactly.
We went from planes to
Right. So we think about our own timeline and how we've seen technological marvels in our lifetime, but how like we're really on the cusp of like even greater technological discoveries like any day now, essentially. So they're basically saying uploading our consciousnesses, our consciousness, consciouses,
Conchai.
consciouses,
Elliot
CC,
knows.
There's Conchai, there's
consciouses.
on Conchai.
And so we upload our conchai to this like thing or whatever. Trying to say it seriously. And so they're saying that's where our future is headed. Like we'll be able to create our own heavens essentially in these like digital virtual worlds. Like this show was saying that like we'll get to a point where our consciousnesses, our conchai will be uploaded into
Please.
indistinguishable from human robots,
Yeah.
and then we'll be able to like live forever that way as robots.
My brain can't compensate how this would work for some like.
Yeah, I can't.
I
make
don't
the leap.
understand how you upload a conchai.
Conchai, come on.
Elliot, have you run into any of this in
Yeah.
your rabbit hole?
Elliot has a
Actually-
master's.
Welcome back to Elliot's rabbit
Oh,
hole.
you have it.
Welcome back to my rabbit hole, everyone. Let's talk Conchai. Singularity's coming. Yeah, I have a buddy who's also in a different year but same program, and he's very interested in the coming tech apocalypse of the singularity and the way technology is going to increasingly like take over, and how weird it is that people don't really talk about it that much. Like everyone talks about climate change, and that's great, but also apparently like we're about to hit something with tech where AI will be smarter than us.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a whole other issue.
That's where this show goes. Like it
Really?
not only deals with like uploading our conchai to some kind of like technological thing, it also talks about how AI is so advanced now that like it's gonna get to a point where we can't control it anymore. And and then it started to like adapt that those theories with the narrative show of like the daughter that died in the car accident, but she's a robot now. And they're like, well, now that she's a robot and she's got like she has access to the internet in her brain and like all this information and stuff, like she starts to become like even smarter than your daughter was. And eventually she'll be able to like do small medical tasks around the house and shit, and do all this robot shit. So it's like eventually it's like not even your daughter anymore. It's like your daughter, but she's a supercomputer also. So it's like it like in the narrative, it gets to a point where the daughter comes in the room and she goes, Mom, Dad, I've learned everything there is to learn about the universe, and now I want to like
Fly to
go
Mars.
and learn more about everything. So bye. And you're like, well, our daughter's too smart now to like be stuck in a home and do like daughter stuff. So she's gonna go be a superhuman now.
What happens with like stupid people who get their consciousness? We'll get
a bunch of Thanos. No, we're gonna get a bunch of Thanoses. Thanos-I.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of, though?
What's that? Hello Fresh?
Yeah. Guys, welcome to the ad portion of the show. With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That is why it's America's #1 meal kit. Guys, guess what? Have you ever packed a schedule this fall? Guess what? HelloFresh has meals covered with a weekly selection of 30-plus recipes and 70-plus convenience items, all delivered to your door. HelloFresh is here to make your hectic fall weeknights a little easier and a lot more delicious. Their quick and easy meals, including 20-minute meals, low prep, and easy cleanup options, take the stress out of mealtime with time-saving, no-fuss recipes, ready in a snap. I just got a new HelloFresh recipe I'm very excited about. It's scallops, and I'm quite excited, as well as one that's shrimp and steak, and I'm extra stoked about that one. And if you would like to join in on the fun, guess what? You go to HelloFresh.com/Valleycast16 and use code Valleycast16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 free gifts. That's right. Go to HelloFresh.com/Valleycast16 and use code Valleycast16 for 16 free meals across 7 boxes and 3 gifts. Queen's dead.
Queen's dead. Queen's dead.
Queen's dead. Queen's dead. Queen's dead.
Was that it? That was the only ad?
Yeah.
Truly though, I don't understand uploading a conscious. If you guys had to put it into words what you think it would mean, how does that work?
Well, I
The
think
problem is our brains don't work consecutively the same way that a computer does. It doesn't.
No.
It's not the same thing. So I don't understand how you would have the same like. How do your issues get uploaded?
Yeah.
Well,
Like
I think the idea is that like our brains do work like computers in a way, and I think people have been obsessed with like trying to connect to try to compare the brain to a computer, because we have
The machine,
computers. And we understand machines to a degree. We understand, like, there's still people that look at, like, you know, that think about the internet and can't comprehend the internet. So it's like, you know, there's all sorts of levels of like of comprehension of like what this could possibly end up being or whatever. But to me, it's like we don't know anything really. I mean, we don't know everything about the brain, right? About the human
Correct.
brain.
Yeah.
And the idea is that we're going to learn so much more about the human brain in the next decade or so, you know, like, or in the coming decades or whatever. And eventually we'll be able to find where memories are stored in the brain, or like where dreams come from in the brain, or who we are in the brain, where our personalities come from, all of that. And essentially science will be able to harness that and translate that into data in which they could copy and then replicate in a, different place. So it's almost like taking a copy of your brain, copying your brain, like copying a hard drive and transferring it to another hard drive. So the idea is that we're close to that. Apparently.
Now back to the show.
We'll be right back. So
I don't know. I'm skeptical of that. I think it implies that our brains make consciousness entirely, but I don't know. I don't think that that's the case.
I know, and we are obsessed with like finding answers. Like we really are a curious species, and
we're a curious little bunch, aren't we?
We certainly are, and we can't stop, and we can't just. There are many of us that aren't satisfied with just being like, well, this is what it is, and let's stop now.
Right.
And I'm glad, because we find new things because of that.
I'm glad for that girl, though, that got her concha up,
the
uploaded.
superhuman.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also talk about the singularity. What do you guys know about the singularity?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about it.
When it's bye-bye time.
Yeah, well, because the singularity is the idea that AI will surpass us and technology will become more advanced than us, and we won't be able to control it anymore. And they're saying that we're heading very steadily into this eventuality. Because
wanting to?
Well, it's almost like we don't have a choice. It's almost like our destiny, because it's like we're digging so close. We're flying. We're basically on a big old giant Icarus. We're on a big giant Icarus.
Big throbbing Icarus.
We're a big throbbing wax-filled Icarus. And we're flying real close to the sun. Because, every day people are like trying shit. Like, how do we know somewhere in the world right now there isn't some scientist that's about to hit enter on some calculation or something that will lead to an AI that like just activates an AI that like can't be stopped?
Can't be stopped in what way? Like, what's the sequence of events?
Like, let's say you like create an AI consciousness and you're like, this is going to be this. We are activating the first ever conscious AI. And we're like, fuck it. We're just ready to see what this does. And then you hit enter, and then suddenly this thing comes out and goes like, I am a conscious AI. Give me a second while I download all the information that's possible from the internet. And then it goes, and then it comes back and goes like, oh, I am your master now. And then it just shuts down all the power and like.
I saw this like shower thoughts thing where it's like an AI. When AI becomes smarter than us, it'll probably be smart enough not to tell us for a very long time.
Oh, yeah. And let us believe that we're in control while it plans and shit. Yeah, because it's like, imagine the smartest person on the planet. And now imagine something like 10 times smarter than that person. And it has the computing power of a supercomputer.
But can it love?
That was the other thing. There was like this whole thing about like ethics, like AI ethics.
Yeah.
And it was like, when we build AI, should we give it the ability to like want to turn on us? Like, should we block that part out of its thing? Like, and it's like, can we even do that?
Yeah. Isn't
now
that
I'm thinking of, go ahead.
Is that like an iRobot thing? Like they have different. There's a name for it. The different rules. It's like a guy's name.
I don't know.
They can't kill humans. They can't. They build
You're right.
different...
There's like, it was like the
Prime Directive.
Yeah.
The Prime Directive is to I think the Prime Directive is to not kill the person that built you or whatever.
Does that mean if AI takes control, shuts down all the power, years from then, eventually all humans would die out, and then we just have an Earth that is just robots, like just computers.
Yeah, it would just be robots. This is an article from a website called.
Just spit it out, Steve.
This is an article. This is an article from a website called TechCrunch. TechCrunch says, "Don't sweat the singularity."
Oh,
Okay, AI. That was written by an AI.
yeah.
Why is it saying this? Let's see. It says this is talking about Labor Day for some reason. Actuator, Labor Day, a tiny gearbox at North American robotics sales. Whoa, this is the kind of shit that like super nerds are like, oh, did you read that? Seems like there's a big decision being made today about factory robots.
I don't trust any article that tells me not to worry about something.
Well, the idea that robots, the purpose of robots will be to do jobs that humans are dangerous for humans to do, or make human working conditions.
Like stand-up comedy.
Am I right? The idea is that like robotics and AI will never be able to replace like true human creativity. That's the hope.
I don't know, the AI generators that we've been doing on the text thread.
I'm so happy.
It goes
you
far
introduced
beyond.
That, that thing it's so great.
It's very
I fucking
addictive.
bought it.
I know, I bought it too. I canceled
It was
and I
only $30 forever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You don't even
So,
know how much it was.
That was
There's
$3 a week.
There's a genuine consensus that robotics will benefit working conditions short term. Automating dull, dirty, and dangerous jobs can dramatically improve workers' quality of life. It's also true that many of these companies are having trouble filling a lot of these roles at present. There's even a compelling argument to be made that such technologies will ultimately create more and better jobs. The question that we all keep coming back to is what we do for those workers in the interim. Like most of you, there's ideas, but there's no answer. Maybe it's job protections, training, expansion of social safety, UBI. Elliot talks about UBI a lot.
He does.
Some suggestions are no doubt more controversial than others. But you know, they're saying that like building robots to do jobs humans don't want to do is like the reason why.
That was the goal.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
So this is what someone who's Politico says. Here's some hopeful news out of France for those worried about the upcoming robotic singularity. And this is quoting an official involved in this declaration.
Can you do it in a French accent?
Yes. There are two. Hang on. Sacre bleu! Nicole Kidman. There are two ways of thinking. One of which is mostly from. It's starting to sound like German.
It's German.
Hang on. Sacre bleu.
Let's offend everyone, every other country.
Yeah.
Yes, the French. Yes, the French. I don't know. I'm not very good at French accents.
That's all right, man. It's okay. Do it in a German accent.
One of which is mostly from across the Atlantic, where science fiction takes control.
Okay.
Where science, okay, so there's two ways of thinking, one of which is mostly from across the Atlantic, where science fiction takes control. See, that's the thing. It's like we've seen so many movies where like the robot, and it's like, oh man, if we get our consciousnesses uploaded into the cloud, there's gonna be evil government shit going on. Or it's like, you know, like nothing good has ever come from uploading, like, making a human or like making AI sentient or whatever. But that's because of science fiction and shit. And that's what this person's saying. But they're saying another, which is more realistic, is dealing with possible usages which remain tied to reality. All the scientists that we talked to think that the singularity is a fantasy, pure and simple, and it amounts to mere marketing. We can confirm the revelation that none of us are, in fact, robots. So we can stop worrying about that for now.
Why do they keep asking me to prove I'm not a robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Checkmate, libs.
So that's interesting. They said that there's a lot. There's this person saying all of the scientists that we've talked to think that the singularity is fantasy.
I mean, that's hopeful. But what is this? TechCrunch.com?
TechCrunch.com. But that came from Politico.
Oh, okay.
It says from Politico, top French bureaucrats, we won't be enslaved by robots.
But what do you think a scientist from 100 years ago would have said if you tried explaining the internet? I bet they would have been like, not gonna be a thing.
I'd say, under my professional opinion, I say, from all the research that I have done, from the beginning, from reading these books, and from learning very much from each individual mind that I have studied myself, I can certainly say the internet is a complete work of fiction.
Very good.
The tongue. That's his signature move.
But it does say here, the Council d'Etat, France's highest administrative court, has put the idea that artificial intelligence poses an existential threat to humanity while reassuring the public that they themselves are not secretly killer robots. Yeah, so we need to make sure that the robots aren't already telling us everything's fine.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying, right, Elliot? Like, because how do we know they're not already robots?
Do you guys remember the first time you were like introduced to AI? I feel like it's a thing that has really gotten popular over the past like 3 years. Like it's all people are talking about now.
What is?
But we're still AI. But we're still like at a place where I feel like we were 10 years. Like we're still like predicting the same things that we were thinking about 10 years ago.
But it's interesting now because like we don't really think about how these passive things are quite impressive. Like the AI generators that we have access to.
I'm amazed by that shit.
You know, it's like we suddenly have access to this. And it's like, if we have access to this, what does the government have access to? You know, what do these scientists have access to? What are their AI applications that we haven't seen yet? Like these are probably, this AI image generator thing has probably been in development for like a very long time.
Yeah.
And people have been fucking with for a very long time. And now the public has their hands on it. And that's like a really interesting thing. It makes you think about what is out, what else other technologies are out there that we don't have access to. But it's interesting because there are
all sorts of fun toys.
There's a bunch of political interest. There's governmental interest.
Military.
I'm sure military interest in figuring out like what's up with, what is the singularity and how do should we be worried about AI?
Damn.
And does artificial intelligence pose a threat to humanity? It says the Council d'Etat provides an administrative guidance to the government and was commissioned by the then Prime Minister Jean Castex in June last year to advise on how to develop the use of artificial intelligence in public administration and mitigate its risks. And it says the report released on Tuesday, and this is recent, is scathing about what it calls the myth of singularity, where technology outsmarts and controls humanity. The court called on the government to counter this, quote, fantasy in its AI strategy, saying that, quote, reflection on artificial intelligence is often the victim of parasitic excessive concentration on artificial general intelligence, end quote. Artificial general intelligence, or AGI, is a name for the theory that AI could surpass human intelligence.
Okay.
In a press conference, members of the Conseil were asked why they dismissed existential risks such as the disempowerment of humanity by machines that have learned to perform tasks better than humans. Rapporteur and State Counsel Alexandre Lellat said, we're not at a point which some call the singularity when machines take over and control humans. When machines take control and humans get forced into their service. Like in some American blockbusters or works of science fiction. It's always humans making decisions. Lellat dismissed the question of whether some AI systems ought to be attributed legal personhood once they become arguably more complex than small organisms, saying the question didn't appear necessary or important to us. Isn't that interesting? We always talk about these things like, man, AI is going to surpass us, and fucking, we got whole shows about it.
Yeah.
And like, remember when Stephen Hawking was out oot and a boot before he died, rest in peace? And we were like, remember when Stephen Hawking was out there rolling hard and we were like, man, aliens this and aliens that, and man, oh, what does it? And then Stephen Hawking would come out and go like, aliens aren't real, shut up.
Yeah, he was a real bummer. You're like, I threw a party for time travelers so that if time travel's real, they'll come and to my party, and no one showed up. So time travel's never going to be real either. You're like, why are you doing that?
I know, and he's like, it's so funny when it's like, man, we just want, the reason why we want AI to take over is because we want change. Things suck in the world so badly. Most of the people that are like, the AI is going to kill us all, are oppressed people that just want something to change. And the people who are dedicating their lives to this to find out if this is real are like, it's not real.
Yeah.
It's science fiction.
When this the Dolly Mini thing blew up, when that first came out, I was listening to a podcast that was talking about how we might get to a point where we could like turn on Netflix, and because of all this deep fake shit, we could be like, I want to see a movie where Tom Hanks is something, and like it would just be able to play that movie for us.
Yeah, like
and that's insane to think about.
Dude, that's a really good point, Kevin. Like we're gonna be able to watch full like psychedelic
say, like,
nightmare
what we want the
movies.
movie to be.
Yeah.
I would like to see a sequel to Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and it just makes it.
And then you type in how long you want it to be. 90 minutes. Yeah. Well, and it'll be starring well, fuck it. Even though what's his name is dead, Bob Hoskins, we'll bring Bob Hoskins back.
Yeah.
Like you fill in your cast list, you say how long you want it to be, and then you can even go even deeper and go like, what are your 3 acts? And then you just hit generate, and like 2 hours later, you've got like a whole movie to watch with your pals. Damn, I want that. You guys need to all get VR so we can watch those.
Yeah.
Together. I love this.
Elliot?
I love that
Elliot's
when
struggling.
you struggling with this
I
singularity
feel
thing.
like he hasn't stopped moving for the past like 5 minutes.
I can't get comfortable. I've been in this box a long time, and I get a little.
How is it going, Elliot? I am curious.
It's okay. I got a paper due today, and I got another paper due Wednesday, and then I get 3 weeks off. But I got a good grade on one of my papers, my publishable paper. I'm gonna try to publish it, and then I got turned in my final exams, and so I'll see. I should know next week if I get to move on in school or if I'm stopping.
Whoa.
So
there's
he wasn't saying "whoa" to you, Elliot.
No, not at all. I don't care.
No.
I was reading something. I figured
I was on the podcast.
But I figured I could tune
Elliot.
out while you guys talk about whatever you were talking about. But I was seeing if there's anything.
Life.
I was trying to see if there's something else more interesting in this article here, and it does say that it's like some of these scientists have considered that the debate is not even. It's over. The debate over the singularity is over. It's not real. Let's move on.
It's over.
But some other European AI researcher who wished to remain anonymous
Robot.
says that AGI, which we said was what?
That talent show.
No.
On
AGI is artificial general intelligence. And this person who wished to remain anonymous says AGI, quote, AGI is a scientific hypothesis to bear in mind even if there is a lack of consensus amongst academic authorities. 70 years ago, there was a lack of consensus about fossil fuel causing climate change. Some individuals started flagging the risk. They should have listened to climate change, and it could have been avoided.
Great analogy.
Wow. So isn't that interesting? This person in this like scientific research wished to remain anonymous because you probably get laughed at in the science world when you're all scientists and shit, and you're like, man, the singularity. You probably get laughed at by your peers because they're like, nah.
Yeah, there's also a lot of like political stuff in academia and those kinds of industries where it's highly competitive, and you want to kind of like, you do want to fall in line, and you want to be able to have a career, and you want to get tenured, and there's super
totally
competitive, and so I think people kind of don't want to go out on a limb very often and
That's
say
true.
something that's going to get them ostracized.
And the dream is to get like huge grants and huge money from investors so that you can further your research and stuff like that. And there probably just isn't interest in looking into things like that amongst like, business people or people with the money to give to these scientists that are like, nah, let's focus more on how I can make more money.
Yep.
I want to give you this $7 trillion, but I want $8 trillion by this point. I want this back. I want $10 trillion. God,
did you guys hear about the Bed Bath & Beyond, dude?
What's happening with Bed Bath & Beyond?
This is like sad and morose and not really a good ending point, but
can-
basically, just so you know, like a week ago, with the CFO of Bed Bath & Beyond, after maybe being suspected of some shady trading, jumped out of a window in New York and did his stuff because Bed Bath & Beyond is not doing well, and they lay off like 20% of their people. Maybe 20% of their stores are closing. I don't know, but very sad. Anyway, thanks for listening to Valleycast, everybody.
I remembered reading about that, Elliot, and I was like, oh man, this guy killed himself because he couldn't live with all the people whose lives he just ruined. And then I found out that he actually did.
Grace, because that's sent out too many 20% off coupons. So that's the problem.
It caught up with the guy that suggested let's
You're
send
shutting down 20% of your stores.
You're gonna cripple us. You're gonna cripple us. And he's like, no, just watch.
Just keep them going.
That's such a good joke.
But see, dude, that's very funny. It's something that would be a very good tweet, but would also upset people. But you know what's funny? Those people that get upset don't matter.
That's right.
So what I was gonna say was I was like, man, this guy, like, isn't that you hate to hear? Obviously, suicide is not funny inherently, but when you think about how horrible it is, you can't help but laugh because otherwise it's too scary. We talk about it all the time. This is how we cope with stuff that's scary.
Talk about suicide every single episode.
We talk about suicide every episode, and we laugh about it every episode.
Right.
And we
Kind
make
of our thing.
It's our thing to make fun of suicide. But I was like, you want to hear that this, like, finally, the guilt of like ruining these lives got to someone to the point where they made a message. They made a message about it. They were like, I'm gonna kill myself because it's like I can't live with this decision. But then I read more about it. And it was literally more about how that person was involved in like really shady
stuff.
like insider trading, like weird stock market stuff.
He's about to get
pump and
killed by
dump.
somebody.
Yeah, pump and dump, like stock market shit. That's like real bad. That's like federal prison shit.
It reminds me of Breaking Bad in one of the last seasons when it's the dude who's like goes into the bathroom and just like puts that thing in his mouth
with the heart monitor.
Yeah.
and puts one in his mouth, and you're like, oh god, that's so morose.
Yeah, because it's like, well, I've lived my cushy rich guy life, but now I can't go to prison.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, thanks for listening to the show today. What would you do instead of going to prison? Let's talk about that in the comments.
Yeah, let us know.
If you were going to go to federal prison, look at the cops are coming for Kevin.
Do AIs, if they get granted personhood, also go to prison if they do a bad thing?
Let us know if you think the singularity is real, and also what would you do instead of going to prison? Let us know in the comments, and we thank you for listening, man. What a show.
Kevin. This is fun. Thanks, Kevin.
I loved exploring the future of AI taking over the world. I love that it's like, man, we get to talk about all this nerdy shit, and we're like, man, what if it's this? What if it's this? And then scientists are like, we don't even talk about this anymore because it's science fiction. But then there was that one scientist that's like, but we can't ignore it. But we can't ignore it.
And what's your name?
Yeah.
Lord?
Nope, I will not say my name. It's basically just George R.R. Martin. We need fiction.
Such a funny thing to remain anonymous about. It's so innocent.
Because
Like,
I
hey,
bet
maybe keep an eye on it. Maybe keep an eye on it. Like, I don't think that's.
Yeah, there's no problem in saying just keep an eye on it.
Yes,
but
keep an eye on it.
But it seems like maybe they're just like cast out in the science world if they believe in that. It's like really like career suicide. Speaking of jokes.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening to the show. We appreciate you. Thank you to our patrons. Joe, get well, baby. Please send Joe all of your get well soon. Uh-oh. Someone's rising up. Someone's rising up. Someone's coming back in the fold. Ladies and gentlemen, give Joe all your love on Twitter. Tell him to get well and his family to get well. Thank you to patrons. Thank you to our casual listeners. For those of you that want to see fun Twitch streams, go to twitch.tv/thevalleyfolk, where I do Twitch streams with my friends all the time. We play games, we do podcasts. It's very fun and weird. And that's it. So thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you next time.